Can you imagine that in 2026 the world's sole superpower, the United States, will be defeated by a nation upon which it has been imposing sanctions for the past 40 years? This is not my assertion, but rather that of Professor Sine, a man whose predictions regarding Donald Trump have already come true. Now we await the third.
The United States will lose this war, which will forever change.
This is no mere conspiracy theory. It is a chilling prediction by Professor Sine, an expert in game theory, that is now rapidly becoming a reality. If this proves true, the money sitting in your bank account within the next 6 months could be reduced to nothing more than worthless paper, and the global order could be altered forever. In this video we will expose the secret script that the mainstream media is concealing from you. We will examine how Iran's inexpensive drones, costing a mere $50,000 apiece, are shattering America's trillion-dollar pride. And above all, we will ask, is Donald Trump pushing the entire world toward a catastrophe solely to invoke emergency war powers or to secure an extension of his term? Is this a path that leads directly back to the agendas of secret societies and the end times? In the next few minutes, you are about to witness a facet of the truth that the world likely has no inkling of. Once again, welcome back to Shadow Atlas. Viewers, Professor Sine's first prediction was that Donald Trump would win re-election, a prediction that proved absolutely true. His second prediction was that, the moment Trump assumed power, a horrific war would erupt between the United States and Iran. That too came to pass. However, his third prediction, the one that left everyone utterly stunned, was that in this conflict, the world's greatest superpower, the United States, would suffer a crushing defeat. This is not merely a prediction. It is backed by a multitude of logical arguments. In today's video, we will conduct a thorough post-mortem of this third and most perilous prediction. We will seek to understand precisely how a military superpower could conceivably be defeated by Iran. Professor Sine, a renowned expert in game theory and geopolitical events, has made it absolutely clear that the United States cannot win this war under any circumstances. Let us get straight to the point and understand exactly where Iran stands at this moment. Iran has not been preparing for this conflict for just the past year, but for a full 2 decades. Within its Islamic regime, this is viewed as a final war, one in which they regard the United States as the great Satan. Iran gained a wealth of experience from the hostilities last June. They did not merely launch attacks. They conducted an in-depth study of the capabilities of both the US and Israel, specifically analyzing the vulnerabilities of their defense systems and their operational tactics. They had 8 months to prepare the perfect execution of this new attack, buying time through dialogue and nothing else. The biggest factor is that instead of fighting directly, Iran is making the best use of its proxies. This shadow army includes Yemen's Houthis, Lebanon's Hezbollah, Palestine's Hamas, and various Shia militants across Iraq and Syria. All of them have read well into America's mentality and their fighting methods. Now, the strategy is not just killing American soldiers. The master strategy is the devastation of the entire American empire and the global economy. Instead of colliding directly with the US, they are targeting the countries that are the real strength of America's economy, the GCC nations, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Qatar and Bahrain. This strategy is dangerous and precisely planned. Iran is not just dropping missiles on military bases. They are targeting critical energy infrastructure and the water supply of these Arab countries. In the Middle East, there is no natural resource for drinking water. These countries survive by processing seawater through desalination plants. More than 60% of their water comes from these facilities. Professor Sine explained a terrifying example. A small Iranian drone, costing hardly $50,000, hits a main water plant in Riyadh. In a city of 10 million people, drinking water would run out in just 2 weeks. Imagine that. In 14 days, an entire city begins to die. At the same time, Iran has started blocking vital corridors, such as the Strait of Hormuz. This is where 90% of food and grain for these Arab countries must pass. Most people think this will only cause a minor global disturbance. But in reality, Iran is threatening to erase the very existence of countries like Saudi Arabia and the UAE. And here is the key. These Arab countries are the backbone of the American economy. The reason is the petrodollar. These countries sell their oil to the world in dollars, so the demand for the dollar remains high. They then reinvest those dollars back into the US stock market. Today, the entire economy and the artificial intelligence boom are standing on this foundation. The highest risk to these AI data centers actually lies within these Gulf states. If this war stops the oil flow, their economies will be destroyed. They will stop investing in America's AI systems. The day Arab investment stops, the false AI bubble of the US will burst and the entire American economy will come crashing down. Professor Sine calls this a financial Ponzi scheme. Now the question arises, why can't the world's most advanced and powerful military combat these cheap drones? The reason is that the entire structure of the American military and its mindset is a relic of the World War era and the Cold War. In that time, combat was about flexing power. It was about who had the most expensive and complex technology. Who goes to the moon? Who has the biggest missiles? America's full air defense system is based on this expensive technology, costing billions to create and run. But in the 21st century, war has changed. This is the period of asymmetric warfare, a period where a very cheap weapon can destroy a very expensive system. Recently, a video from Israel surprised defense experts worldwide. An Iranian ballistic missile was screaming toward the ground. To prevent it, America and Israel fired 11 different interceptor missiles. And yet, they could not stop it. On the other hand, Iranian Shahed drones are completely made in Iran and Russia. They do not depend on any other country for their supply line. The Shahed 136, also called the GERAN-2, has proved to be a game changer due to its simplicity and low cost. Powered by a basic two-stroke piston engine, it can travel 2,000 kilometers with a speed of 185 kilometers per hour on just 100 liters of fuel. It is not difficult to operate. It is simply guided by GPS coordinates. And because it flies so low, it spreads fear wherever it passes and is extremely difficult to intercept. Only 8 feet wide, this drone can carry a 40-kilogram warhead. To use $1 million interceptor to stop a $50,000 drone is like using a high-speed train just to stop a car. The US Defense Secretary admitted that Iranian drones are causing a bigger issue than expected. This is a massive financial disaster. When you spend millions to stop a drone that costs $50,000, you cannot afford this war for long. Now the stock of these expensive missiles is depleting rapidly. America is forced to use its Asia military reserves, the ones they kept to deter China. This is the breakdown of America's pride, a power that has dominated the world for decades. If this continues, the petrodollar will be devastated, and the world will walk rapidly toward a multipolar order. Apart from all this, America and Israel are mostly attacking by air. But history is a witness. No country has ever changed the regime of another through air attacks alone. You must put boots on the ground. Yet, the US Secretary of War says America has no intention of sending ground troops into Iran. In the coming months, the pressure from Arab countries will become unbearable. They will demand a ground army to wipe out Iran, because if they fall, America's petrodollar drowns with them. So why did Donald Trump jump into a war that his own military command warned him about? According to Professor Sine, there are 3 major reasons behind this decision. First, overconfidence. After a small success in Venezuela, Trump became blinded by his own military's image. Much like Hitler, who attacked the Soviet Union out of pure arrogance, only to face total devastation. Second, political advantage. While this war serves no purpose for America, it serves Trump personally. Saudi Arabia and Israel are lobbying for this war. Billions have flowed into the private equity funds of Trump's inner circle, specifically his son-in-law. Furthermore, major financial backers have openly stated that they would fund a third term for Trump, even though the Constitution forbids it. Under the guise of war, he might attempt to extend his tenure as a wartime president. Third is the secret agenda. Professor Sines suggests that if you study the old leaks and the Epstein files, you will see that this world is run by secret societies. Among them is a group often called the Illuminati, divided into powerful factions. One controls the Vatican, another, modern Israel, and a third, the national security and military apparatus of America. These groups believe a great war in the Middle East is necessary to bring about their end times agenda. To them, logic does not matter. It does not matter if the global economy is destroyed. They are simply following a pre-written script. This was Professor Sines' third prediction. And after the first two came true, this one is looking like a chilling reality. America is fighting a war where, even if luck allows a win, it will be a massive defeat. Much like the attacks on Iraq, Libya and Afghanistan, this move against Iran might be the final blow to the American empire. What is your opinion about this? Tell us in the comment section. We hope this video gave you a perspective the world isn't talking about. Share this video and we will see you in the next one.